Everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name's Rhonda, better known as Hot Mess Mama MD. On today's video, it is another edition of Is It a Dupe or Just a Waste of Money? What we will be trying out today is the new palette by Bad Habit called Dreamstate. Now, this is a 15 shade pressed glitter palette. Of course, you have a nice little mirror in here. This is what the palette actually looks like. What this is supposed to be a dupe for is a very expensive palette that retails for $59. That palette is right here. This is a Fenty Beauty Galaxy palette. Now, this is what it looks like inside. Again, been playing in this one too. Now, this came out, I believe, back in October or something of last year. Like I said, it does retail for $59, and it does have 14 shades in this palette. It is a nice mixture of, a bunch of different glitters, some that are, just to be like an eyeshadow type of topper or just to use all over the lid. So if you're interested to see if this $14 palette is a dupe for this $59 palette, then stay tuned. Okay, so like I said, this Dreamstate palette is by Bad Habits. You can find it off of the Shophush app or online. Actually, it's much easier just to download the Shophush app. As always, I'm not sponsored or affiliated or do I get a kickback or anything like that. I purchase all of these palettes with my own money, and I do these videos for you all because I want to save you guys money. And if there's money to be saved, then I want to find it for you. So on to this palette. This palette, now the case, as you can see, is one of their like standard Bad Habit types of cases where it's more of that cardboard type of casing, where the Fenty Beauty is like this nice hard plastic. You do receive a nice mirror, a nice size mirror with the Fenty Beauty one, but again, it's $59. Of course, as always, I'm going to do a tutorial for you all. One side of my face will be with the Dreamstate palette, the other side with the Fenty Beauty palette. Okay, so right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and get into swatches. Check it out. I came prepared, guys. I am prepared. So instead of boring you with swatching each and every single one, I went ahead and pre-did it. Now, like I told you guys before, there is 15 shades in this Bad Habit palette. There is only 14 in the Fenty Beauty palette. So you did actually get an extra one. So I'm going to go ahead, zoom you guys in on the bottom. All the bottom swatches are the Dreamstate Bad Habit palette. On the top is all of the Fenty Beauty shades. Okay, so like I said, all of the bottom swatches, those are all from the Bad Habit palette. Now, as you can tell, as far as the shades, the colors, and all of that goes, they are pretty identical. Now, I know down here it's kind of hard to see these shades and everything like that. But again, as you can tell from the swatches, the Bad Habit side seems to be a bit more on the pigmented side of things. So as you can see, I do have a little bit of makeup on and just a little bit of mascara because I did just get back from my daughter's basketball game. She won, by the way. Whoop, whoop. So anyways, so what I did is I did pull my Aphrodite palette from Bad Habits. Again, this retails on their site for $12, and it's been very, very well loved. Like I said, now this is what I consider an all-in-one palette because as you can see, you've got the lighter shades in there where you can set your primer, your concealer, what have you, as well as you have a lot of transition shades. You could smoke this out. You could do an easy, simple, everyday look. Now, this right here, the Dreamstate palette is more of an accent palette where you can use it in combination with a palette like this or just a couple little, single shades and things like that. But this Dreamstate palette is definitely an accent palette. So what I did do right now is I have already applied, because like I said, I just got back from her basketball game. I did apply this shade right here from the Aphrodite palette, and I did, which is called Koi, and then I used the shade just really, really light-handed Passion to just use as a really light transition shade. Like I said before, I'd be fibbing if I didn't say I was a little bit nervous over these glitter palettes. I also want to note that I have been playing around with them, and I haven't been using any type of like glitter glue or anything like that. I actually had this palette on yesterday, and to be 100% honest with you guys, this actually came off more than this one did. I have no idea what kind of look I'm going to create with this, but we will figure it out. And what I decided to do, instead of doing an end of the day type of check-in, just because my days get very crazy, especially on the weekends and things like that, I thought what I would do today is maybe take and do like this little rubbing type of thing. I got this idea from Jen Lowe's Reviews. When she does her swatches and everything, she takes like a rag, and she said, you know, this is kind of simulating the wear throughout the day, which I'm probably misquoting her, but I will find one of her videos and link it down in the description box below, where she is showing y'all how she does her swatches. Now that was an extremely long intro and everything else, let's get into the tutorial. So like I said, one side will be with the Dreamstate palette, one side with the Fenty Beauty palette. As always, I will be using the exact same brush to get a fair trial on both of these palettes, just cleaning it off in between. Oh, guys, this is a struggle. This video is legit the biggest struggle I've ever had. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna hop off, I'm gonna do the rest of my lashes and then add some liner, and whoo, do I have a lot to talk about, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back with more mascara and liner. For liner, I did use my NYX Jumbo Pencil in the shade 630 Cashmere, and I also used my ColourPop gel liner in the shade Swerve. Can I just tell you guys, the struggle bus was for real. Like, hot mess in full effect with these palettes. I mean, I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see the final creation of something. Okay, something. So as always, this is a judgment-free zone. Hallelujah, amen, because ooh, the mess is for real today, y'all. I mean, I really struggled with this. This is the final look, and yeah, I'm gonna zoom you guys back out so we can talk about this. Okay, so as I tell you guys all the time, I am not a professional makeup artist, or anything. Everything is self-taught, self-learned. I learned things from my almost 18-year-old. I learned things from YouTube, and I have a lot more learning to do when it comes to the glitter palette. Oh, Lord Jesus, my goodness. I tell you what, I think I'm gonna, okay, so here's my thought. If you are using this much glitter on your lids, you definitely are going to need glitter glue. My whole purpose of trying to show you all what you could achieve with just using concealer as or even an eye primer with a look, you know, you can get a look, but can I tell you what? The fallout, I completely forgot about how much fallout there actually is, and it's not just with the Bad Habit palette, it's also with the Fenty Beauty palette. And I mean, that goes with a lot of glitter types of eyeshadows as well, and I just totally didn't even think about it. So I definitely would recommend using a glitter glue, whether that be, I hear wonderful things about the NYX glitter glue. I personally, the glitter glue that I use is by Too Faced, and I did not pay full price for it. I think I found it either at TJ Maxx or Nordstrom Rack or something. I think I paid maybe like $9 or $10 for it. I'm not 100% how much the NYX glitter glue is, but I've heard really good things about that if you want to try a drugstore type of glitter glue. What I want to tell you guys about this palette. As I said before, this is definitely an accent palette. As you guys saw, this side was the Dreamstate palette, this side being the Fenty Beauty side, and I think overall we were able to achieve pretty much the exact same look. Now granted, I wasn't using a ton of the shades in this palette, but I mean, as you could see, as far as the colors, you know, not only just swatched, but as well as the application on my eye, they turned out the same. Like, in my opinion, they look the same, and I can't tell a difference on either eye when I'm looking in my mirror or looking in the monitor. I definitely would suggest a glitter glue with both of these palettes. Like I said, the shades turned out really, really great. I mean, you could definitely build up with this palette. I think for me personally, I was just very, very overwhelmed by all of the glitter. As much as I love glitter, you're wearing a lot of glitter. Like, it's all over my clothes, it's all over my desk, it was all over my face. And like I said, it wasn't just the Fenty, or it wasn't just the Bad Habit one, the Fenty Beauty palette did that as well. So I definitely would suggest, if you are going to be using multiple colors out of this palette, especially the dark ones, do not put your foundation, concealer, your face on first. Do your eyes first, which I think that's kind of rule of thumb. And again, I was rushing off to my daughter's basketball game, so I didn't really give it much thought. But I will tell you guys, I think that this is a really pretty palette. It's a nice accent palette, but definitely if you're going to use this, especially the darker shades, I would definitely go with the glitter glue. Oh, side note, if I had when I first filmed this, I didn't notice it. If I had a lipstick print right here, it was because my mom was at the basketball game and she had lipstick on and gives us all kisses and had a big old smoocheroonie on my cheek. So thanks, Mom. Yeah, I think that this palette does perform well, especially with the colors and everything like that. As always, you guys know I love Bad Habit formulas. This palette, like I said, was $14, and you do get 15 shades versus the 14 shades here. Now, as you saw, I did use the shade Surreal as a topper, and it was very, very pretty. You know, I think that this is a very pigmented palette. It's nice and glittery, but not, I wouldn't say it's like over the top glittery. I felt like with the Fenty Beauty glitter, I felt like the glitter particles in here, even though they look very small in here, I feel like they were a little bit chunkier of glitters, if that makes sense. I don't know. They just seemed a little bit chunkier, where the Dreamstate palette seems a little bit more almost powdery consistency than you know, even when you swatch it, like this side over here is the Fenty Beauty side, and this has, you know, a really pretty sparkle to it, but it has more of the chunky glitters in it versus over here, which granted I swatched it right over top dark shades, but as you can tell, it's just more of a thinner type of glitter, and you know, it's a bit more of the powdery side where it just kind of melts into your skin, where I feel like the Fenty Beauty one kind of sits on top. And I don't even know if I'm like giving that a really good explanation, but I just feel like it's more finely milled in the Bad Habit one, and it just kind of melts with your skin a little bit better, and it doesn't just, like I said, it just doesn't sit on top of the skin like the Fenty Beauty one does. I feel like it just kind of melts in. I don't know. I do want to note that if you do use MAC Fix Plus or even water to wet your brush and apply this, it is very, very pretty. And I'm going to show you guys that now. So I can show you guys that they are very, very pigmented, and it's very, very bold if you wet your brush. Like I said, you don't have to use MAC Fix Plus. You can use another setting spray. You can use water. You do whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go in here with the shade Surreal and show you guys that since I already swatched it, this is the side I swatched it. Look at that. Do you guys see it made it a bit bolder? So you can really pack that on. and really make that a bolder color. So you definitely have that option that you can wet them. They will build up. You're not going to have a problem with that. Like I said, I got this idea from Jen Loves Reviews. I'm going to swipe my eyes with the glitter on so you guys can see how much comes off or how much doesn't come off. Keep in mind, I do not have glitter glue on, so that's going to make a big difference as well. So I'll zoom you guys in. Like I said, I got this idea from Jen Loves Reviews. She will swatch everything on her arm, and then she does like a little swipe test with her makeup rag, and that is to simulate how it would wear or whatnot throughout the day and everything like that. Like I said, I'm probably not explaining this correctly, so I will definitely make sure to leave one of her videos down below in my description box where she is simulating this as well on her swatches, and she explains it 10 times better than I do, y'all. I got you guys zoomed in. This is the Dreamstate side. This is the Fenty Beauty side, and we're gonna go ahead and swipe and see how this does. So I had a lot of coffee today, guys, and then my wonderful husband went to the bakery right up the street from us, and they have the most amazing pastries and donuts known to man. So I'm on like a major sugar rush right now on top of all the coffee, but I'm not mad about it. Okay, anyways, here we go. So swipe number one. Boop, there we go. So as you can see, probably not the best way to do it, only because I was using these fingers to swatch. So next, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and use the makeup rag, and I'm not going to put my finger in it. I'm just going to swipe across it twice. So 1, 2, okay. Now let's go over to the Fenty Beauty side, and 1, 2, okay. So, as you guys can tell, this is the Dreamstate side, this is the Fenty Beauty side, and they're both going to rub off. So that's how they're going to wear. I definitely would suggest with these darker colors, you definitely are going to want a glitter glue. You're just gonna. My final thoughts on this palette, it is 100% Hot Mess Mom approved. When it comes to the whole Fenty Beauty Rihanna line, I love what they stand for. I think that their foundation is amazing. But for me personally, to be 100% honest with you guys, I'm not saying this is a god-awful palette or anything like that. For my budget, personally, feel that this is a better deal. I hope I don't get a bunch of hate comments for this, but I have to say that, you know, for me personally, this would be the winner out of these two palettes. This is not going to be a palette that I'm going to reach for every single day. It is strictly an accent palette, so when it comes down to it, I suggest this one. Sorry if I really upset a lot of y'all out there. Like I said, I love the Fenty Beauty line. I love everything that they're standing for. I love the fact that they're so inclusive. They cater to everybody. I do think that this palette as well will cater to everybody. I think that, you know, this one is an inclusive brand that works. The shades work for everybody, and I feel like this is definitely going to do that as well. Guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're not yet subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell next to it so you can be notified every time this hot mess uploads a video. So until tomorrow, my friends, as always, I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, and blessed day. Kisses from Kentucky.